My name is Dr. Alessandro Ponzo, and I am the president of the NGO Physalus, that study the whale shark and the interaction with the tourism in Oslo in Cebu. And we have identified 138 sharks at the moment that have been passing or staying in Oslo. And of these 138, around 15-20 are resident, meaning that's been there for more than 50 days, some have been there for more than 200 days, and some have been there every single day for the last 14 months. What we are trying to establish is the effect of the provisioning, so the feeding of the whale shark on the population of the whale shark, on the individual, and what's the effect, the benefit for the community. So try to find a balance between the positive and negative aspect of the tourism related to provisioning, so to feeding the whale shark.
We're an independent study group, we're an NGO, and we're just studying the whale sharks basically. We study how much they feed, how long they spend here, how many people go in the water, how many people interact with the whale sharks, if there's any violation of the compliance. We do in water behaviors, so we follow sharks around and we see how they behave with tourists, with the feeder boats, with the guest boats. And unfortunately, even though tourists are giving a briefing and so on, a lot of tourists don't seem to care for the well-being of the animal, which is a shame. So people touch the sharks, they use flash photography, there's too many people on top of the shark, even though the guideline says a minimum of 4 meters, for example, and you have all the people under like 2 meters of the shark.
Whale sharks are plankton feeders. That's why you find that they have wide and large mouths. They are wild animals, and they are supposed to roam over the oceans in search for food. That should be taken into consideration when using these animals as a tourist attraction. If you feed them, they will get used to you, to people in general, and will be subjected to certain risks in the future, because all you know, others may not feel the same kindness to these animals, and they may harm them if you feed them, because they will be dependent on you. That is the principle of taking care of wild animals. Do not feed them, let them look for their food in their natural environments.
Since January 2012, the local government unit put in place an ordinance, a regulation to organize the tourism in the water of Tanawan, so in Oslo. But of all the regulation, there are only a couple that are actually directly related to the shark, and it's the minimum distance and the non-touching policy. And unfortunately, the compliance with this ordinance are very low, and that's what we are monitoring. If the data will show that there is an impact on the shark, what we will predict to happen is that we will see a change in the movement, on the regular patterns of the movement of this shark. What we think happened to the resident shark, at least, is that been there for more than 200 days, is that their natural patterns of movement have been compromised by the provisioning activities. Not the tourist itself, or the tourism activities itself, but the fact that you are providing food for them.
So the data we gather here, we report to the LGU, to the mayor of Oslo, to the ENR, to BFAR, and to the TOSFA, which is the Fishermen's Association here in Oslo. We make recommendations, so we create reports every 2 to 3 months, and we make a list of recommendations at the end, and then it's up to the LGU and the local government if they go ahead and if they listen to us.
It's not our position to stop or non-stop the feeding, we're just collecting the data, and it's not in the position of the people of Oslo to take a decision if the feeding is good or not. For sure for them it's good because it's bringing a lot of money. If you think in 12 months in 2012 they had 100,000 tourists. That is 5 times more than Don Sol, and brought only from ticket selling for the registration in the interaction area over $1 million. So this is a lot of money for the community. So for sure it's good for them.
I think that the tourism industry never did anything positive to influence the Oslo people that take advantage of these animals. So I think that should be corrected. What they are doing should be corrected.
There are agencies that are deputized to make a decision, and that's DNR and BIFAR, so the Department of Environment and Natural Resources and the Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources. And they are the one in charge, together with the provincial and national government, that should be in charge of taking the decision. Not the biologists, not the community, but working all together and take a decision that will meet the balance between the benefit and the negative outcome.